My name is Denver Smith, and this is Denver Smith's show. I'm still the host. And on this episode, we have an old friend of mine, Patrick Holmes. No-ish. He's an old friend of mine. He's also a clarinet player who has toured the world playing jazz clarinet. And he's also worked at a couple of iconic bars in New York. And we both moved to New York City around the same time. I was there a few months before him, and but he's still there, so he won. Here's my friend Patrick Holmes. Thank you. Thanks for watching. You're on this.
Yeah, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, this is late, man. I gotta wake up early, dog.
What do you gotta do tomorrow?
I have things to do around the house. I'm married now. I don't live the life when we knew each other and we were living together 3,000 years ago. I don't live like that anymore, Denver. Tasty.
Okay, there it goes. I got it to work now. Hey, Pat, how's it going?
All right, I'm alive.
Yeah, and you're in. Are you still in Queens, in New York?
Yeah, I'm still in Queens. I'm in Ridgewood.
Ridgewood, Queens.
Yeah.
I'll put up a map so people can know where that is. I don't know. So, what's going on in New York?
Trials.
Are you excited about that stuff?
Not in a good way.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less what happens in the political realm in terms of the actors and players in the reaction to peaceful protests. But
I saw that on the news today.
yeah, it's happening all over. But
Do you think it's the end times?
What, you been watching Ancient Aliens or some shit? It's all of a materialistic sense. We got a phone. I can email you.
You've got mail.
I mean, maybe in terms of medical things have gotten better, but then there's a dark side to that too. We spend a lot of monies in taxes, especially working class people, but we don't get much back.
I didn't get any money back.
This is high clown world shit, so what do you expect?
Let's talk about something more fun.
Like what? Bubble gum.
You got to go to Europe, right? Like, you've been playing music. Tell me about where you've been playing music.
I got a show coming up on Monday that I'm excited about. It's an artist space. I'm doing a duet with it's a great contrabass player, Kyle Modal. We're doing a duet. We're opening up. It's the composer Arnold Drablot's 70th birthday, so they're having a celebration for him. I really like his music. I just like classical performance. I decided, I never studied formally. Let's check it out. Since, during the pandemic, everything seemed to take such a downturn. It's like, I'm going to go do something I really want to do.
So is that the first time you've been classically trained or something?
I mean, I've done private lessons, but not in an academic situation. I mean, I've kind of studied with some classical people in the past and jazz as well, but just kind of always doing my thing with it anyway.
still playing
Yeah,
clarinet, right?
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, so it's all interesting at this age to go back and do that when you're used to kind of doing just whatever you want.
I mean, I know there's like a million people you could pick, but like, what's like one of your highlights of like people you got to play with?
A few years ago, I was in Morocco getting to play with Abdullah El Gord in Morocco with the Ganawas in Tangier. I was there
Um,
for like a month in 2014. That was great.
You've been like pretty
Uh,
much all over the world now.
a little bit, mostly in Europe and stuff like that. But I'm always in New York. I still like New York, even though it's strange. It's taking on some of the semblance of the burbs. You
Really?
know,
Like how
yeah,
so?
it's like everything closes at night. You can't like go get like a bite at like 3 in the morning, except some nasty bodega. And even in like Williamsburg and other places, they're supposedly so hip. Everything's like lights out around 10 o'clock. Except like bars or something. It's like I still bartend, so it's like that doesn't sound that exciting to me.
Where do you work now?
I work at Union Pool on the weekends.
Cool. For a long time, you were the manager of
Uh,
whatchamacallit, Max Fish.
yeah, in the living room, but that's been gone for years.
But that's like a legendary place, like
Yeah, that's where a lot of singer songwriters like Nora Jones and Jesse Harris and all those people got their start. But
at Max Fish.
I used to work there too. I worked at both of those.
And then
So
at the didn't you work at the living room also? That was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
do
that's where I manage.
you have any cool like Max Fish stories? Come on, tell me one.
One time I was working the day shift at the original Fish, and this guy asked to use the bathroom, and I'm working there alone, so it's like I'm not, kind of forgot about it or whatever. But out when one of the other bartenders walks in, I just see him telling the guy to get out, like just get out of here. The guy had like unscrewed the light bulb and was like, I think playing with himself and took a crap on the floor or something.
I
Like
feel like
going
if you work
weird.
at any bar, like that happens all the
Well,
time.
you're gonna see something, you
I,
know.
I saw something real crazy last night when I was driving home. I work at a hotel in Hollywood. I was driving down Highland Boulevard, which is like by the Hollywood Bowl and stuff. This car was kind of driving real fast. And then I look over and there's like a woman like holding on to the hood of the car, like in the windshield. And then like they started going like fast and like past me and stuff. And then there was a entrance for the freeway and they turned onto the entrance for the freeway. And then I was like right behind them. And then they pulled over on the shoulder and the guy got out of the car and like took the woman off the front of the car. And then I don't know what happened after that. But when he was doing that, I noticed like I only saw her from behind, but I'm pretty sure she was like Porky Pig in it. Like she had no pants or underwear or skirt or anything. We're in the Mad Max kind of times now.
Post-apocalyptic gang of junkies like
Yeah, dude.
walking down the street like stoked. So I guess they had scored, but like, where the fuck are they going? They're like all hanging out. Some people on bikes, and like it's just like, man, who knows, man? I think this the rest of the year and early next year, the way everything's going to play out with the election and everything is going to be like bananas. None of the prospects we have seem that awesome. It's like only having $2. It's like at 7-Eleven in the early 90s. Do I get a bag of Fritos and put the free chili and cheese in it? Or do I get one of those disgusting microwavable burgers? I worked at 7-Eleven. I got fired
How'd you get fired?
because I could never make it on time because I was hanging out with Craig and partying and skating all night because I didn't sleep, because we've been hanging out all night, like skateboarding around and stuff. And the manager, he was like, Holmes, you're terminated. I was like, what? We were still living together
We used to live together in the like 93, 94.
in that studio apartment.
I saw it like that place is a parking garage now.
Oh, it is?
Last time I checked, yeah.
you remember the Descent? You know, that dude that moved in. I remember that. You remember that his mom and his like younger siblings brought him there, and then he started like hanging out, and then he became a junkie. It was so hard. He couldn't hang. You just knew it was going to happen because the people he started hanging out with. You just like, that's you could just see it happening before your eyes. Yeah, those parties at that place were hilarious, though.
I know that was fun, man. That made me feel like
Yeah.
I was like good at throwing
Oh
parties.
no, dude, that was. I mean, that was so long ago. That was hilarious.
Like surrounded by frat houses, and like I
Yeah.
always thought those people were real evil.
What have you been listening to,
Music.
music wise? Velocity Girl and like Crime.
I know I did find the singer for Velocity Girl made some demos in '98, and they just put them out.
Um,
My favorite rap song lately is like the one with like Nas keeps putting out stuff that's really good. And
yeah.
the song he did with Lil Wayne, I think that one's really good.
Hi, mom. Hi, mom. Hi, mom. Hi, mom.
So I mean, there's just so much music. It's just like hard. I mean, I don't even try to keep up, and I buy a lot of old stuff too. But there's so much new and good stuff coming out because I already have too many records here.
I mean, I pretty much stopped getting records when like iPods came out.
Mm.
But
Yeah, I gotta have material. I got things I have to. I got to be able to hold something. I don't like having things on my phone and stuff too much. But
I see like if I'm DJing and I bring like a U-Haul truck full of records, like I still have more songs on my phone.
you know, I haven't DJed in a long time. But when I do, I still take vinyl. I always take like try to take a box of 7 inches and a bunch of 12 inches and stuff. But yeah, I haven't DJed in a long time because when I was kind of doing it semi regularly, I was still partying a lot, and you know, I messed up some expensive, especially singles, like putting things in the wrong place. Somebody spilling beer on something. I was like, man, I'm not taking records out like this to DJ anymore.
I always wanted to be called DJ. The medium is not the message, and just play like every kind of format.
No,
I always try to mix in some AM radio if I can.
Le bilan. L'islamologue Tariq Ramadan invité demande d'idées toute la...
I came in like Skyrock.
she's like, oh, you should be DJ Creep Tangy.
That is a good name.
It is pretty good.
I thought of one which
Oh
was what's that movie with Tom Hanks where he goes back to like community college and Julia Roberts is the teacher?
Oh yeah.
In the Navy, I went around the world 5 times, but I would never be able to communicate it to you unless I had taken speech 217. You're a great teacher.
Spectacular.
You'd like to kiss me? Let's do that again, and this time permission to cop a field. You are so cute, I can see you.
I'm DJ Larry Crown. What the
Do you
hell?
remember Rachel that I used to live with?
Yeah, that was I dated her for a second, right?
August did. She worked for the obituary
Oh yeah, that
section
was her.
of the
Yeah,
Austin Statesman.
I saw her in New York after I moved to New York. I saw her like on the subway one day. I'm pretty sure it was her. It's one of
Dude,
those-
I have one of the most awkward stories hanging out with her because we were shooting pool at Egos. Like we'd go down there and shoot
Yeah.
pool when I was a roommate. So we're playing pool. We're playing against these two guys, and we win the match. You know, you like customary, you shake hands. I shake the first guy's hand. He was obviously he had been in a severe fire or something, like he'd lost some of his digits and stuff, like really like bad burn victim or whatever. And I shook his hand. She was shaking, you know, and then I go to shake the other guy's hand, and she's shaking that guy's hand. And when a natural reaction, she wasn't trying to be rude, But when she went to shake his hand, she looked down and she went, ugh, and jumped back. And it was like the silence. It was so embarrassed. I mean, it was so terrible. Like, I mean, it was just like we just disappeared out of there. Then we got in her car and we just like fucking died laughing because I was like, dude, that, like, what were you thinking? Like, why did you do that? But I know she didn't do it on purpose. It was just like this thing, you know? She was a strange person. And she used to imitate, she used to do this really funny thing. She would imitate Worf's son, Alexander, on the like couple of times he was on a Star Trek.
Mhm.
A Worf's son.
What's some crazy like Austin story you can think of?
That how I met that guy Gus. I was walking down the alley and he popped up out of a dumpster and introduced himself. Literally. That was a weird place.
Yeah, that's like the
That
good old
place was
days.
weird.
I bet there's still some sketchy people around there though.
Oh yeah, for sure. Man, I'm all, you should have got me on like during the day on the weekend when I'm all like spry and so I'm all like, you know.
Yeah, I only have a few more minutes, so we gotta like think of something good to end on. Um, I don't know. Like, tell me like some like something about like when you were playing in Europe or something.
Oh, I did this residency in Switzerland that was really awesome in this little small hamlet, Pastiavo, that's like on the Swiss Italian border. I was there for like 5 weeks. Did that, and then we went and played in Italy, and then did some shows in Berlin. But the show in Italy was like, you know, a knockout fight at the free jazz show. Like these two dudes just went nuts. It's like Como, Italy, or wherever it is. It's like small town. We were playing, and then just like this fist fight breaks out. Yeah, we were like, what? We're like up there playing. It's just like this melee happened. That was weird.
Did you stop playing or you kept playing?
I think eventually we did stop playing it and help break it up, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember.
Like you jump off the stage and go down there? And
No, nothing like that. It was just weird. And then the guys were outside making up. So, I mean, I guess it wasn't that bad. Things are kind of exciting, but, you know, just kind of seeing how this election is going to play out.
What's it like being married? Like, I've been married for 8 years now.
I think it's awesome. Best decision I ever made. One of the best. I mean, moving here was a good decision, too. My parents making me was a good decision.
Yeah. What's something that's like going on in New York that nobody else knows about unless you're in New York?
There's always good shows. You know.
What's the last one you saw that was good?
Last show that I saw that was good. Oh, I went and saw a performance of this centennial of her birth. This composer Amanda Perry. She's from Akron, Ohio. She's this classical, neoclassical composer, rock composer that's little known. I have a record of hers that I bought in the 90s, old CRI record. But I went and saw a performance of some of her stuff. I mean, it never gets played. And that was great. That was a really good show. Man, I missed this weekend, Friday, though. The original singer from Die Kreutzen that did their first record, Cows and Beers, but I was working. I really wanted to go to that. A friend sent me some video. I mean, that's one of my favorite records of all time. I just saw today that there's going to be a premiere of that Crass documentary.
I feel like several of my roommates and were really into Crass, but I could never get into it.
That wasn't your style.
I'm just into like Britney Spears or whatever. Backstreet Boys. Or
borrowing $20 so you can go get a People's Magazine. I was like, this dude is mentally ill.
You said I borrowed $20 to go buy People magazine.
Yeah, you get like all the, you know.
That's not true, but
pick up on the hottest news.
1 second, hold on. What?
You're
Oh, personalities. What? Hold on.
Man, that's only ever happened for me in a dentist's office or a doctor's office. People's Magazine is like everything's about someone being kidnapped or murdered or something, though. It's real dark. You have this thing like, I despise celebrity culture. I think you're intrigued by it, which
Yeah.
I mean, almost everybody is. I think it's worthless.
I mean,
Man, it's just like high school on a grand scale. Like, who wants to deal with that?
I mean, I don't know. I'm always afraid of like being in People magazine. Like, I think I was like scared to be like famous enough to be in People magazine because like,
Nah, dude, I like being anonymous, like being unknown.
like if all the people in that magazine, like bad things happen to them eventually, you know?
Those magazines are so mentally ill. It's just like insane. Like, if that magazine was a person, you wouldn't like them.
Right.
Like, it's just too insane. You know, it doesn't make any sense. You know, but that's the world that we live in. You know, all the normal people are crazy. You probably have to interview me again. You know, you're getting like all like a day of being all worn out and like.
But that's kind of the style of the show. So we got like a minute left. Remember that time like John Monahay and you and
He
me
lives here.
hanging out and I like punched both of y'all or something?
Oh yeah, that you remember that time you attacked me?
Yeah.
And Craig was like, "Man, you should have beat his ass." Yeah, you attacked me. You're all crazy. Because I kept messing with.
And
Yeah,
if people don't
was
believe me, they have an
hilarious.
anger problem.
Yeah. I remember a few times you getting like nuts. You know. Yeah. We're dating ourselves talking about snow. Look, there's never been any good reggae or ska to come out of North America, ever.
What about No
Because-
Doubt?
Humanoids from the deep. They began in the water. They're not human, but they hunt human women. Not for killing, for mating.
Why the girls?
It's my theory that these creatures are driven to mate with man now in order to further develop their incredible evolution.
Humanoids from the deep. Anywhere you run, any place you hide, any time you stop, they will find you. Humanoids from the deep.